If this exact moment doesn't make it into the video, I'm going to be upset with you.
Which exact moment? This one right
exact,
here?
yeah, this right here.
But we haven't done anything yet.
Yeah, and I want to see it there.
Okay, I'm putting it in the video.
It's called the pre-show banter. All right, good, good. All right, I'm happy.
So, Liz.
All right, what's going on?
Liz.
What are we here for?
We are here for Boots Bad Builds!
But why here, though, specifically?
Oh,
here?
I don't know.
Let's go to that thing, because I like the look of that sentry thing. Okay. It's new world versus world content, and I don't play this game type, so it's cool to see. All right, so what? I gotta be honest. I'm a little hesitant at this.
Okay.
Because I don't know what
at all what's going on.
Well, no, okay. I can understand a few ideas you might have. Like, I'm scared you're about to give me, like, I don't know, some kind of flame aura conjure weapon build thing. Oh,
conjure weapon. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that.
That's the greatest trait. So I don't know what you're gonna go. I don't know what angle you're going with.
Okay.
I'm either gonna love it or really hate this one.
Well,
so.
I know that you are. Your main is the elementalist, and you are basically an elementalist aficionado, right?
Aficionado. I like it. Yeah. Okay,
doesn't mean you're good at it. You just know a lot about it.
All right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. I can say I'm an aficionado without sounding big-headed.
Exactly. So I really got to bring something to the table to please you. I think
to interest me. Yeah. Because I had my own little Ellie experiment the other day and it didn't go very well.
Okay. Well, what I did was, you know how last time I had my Ellie build before the patch, before HOT came out, and it was like a pretty cheap build. It's like full burst. You kill somebody in 10 seconds, and that's all you got.
Oh yeah. I remember. Yeah. With lightning rod and so on. Okay.
So I made an even cheaper build this time. This is by far the cheapest build you could possibly make in Guild Wars 2.
What? Cheaper than the spam interrupt thief we had?
Even cheaper than the spam interrupt thief. This build is the cheapest build ever in Guild Wars 2. That kind of works.
All right, you've piqued my curiosity. Let's hear it. What is this?
Well, the first thing you got to do is look at the equipment.
Okay.
Number one.
What do you got?
I got rabid chest plate, rabid legs, and rabid feet.
Okay. All right. We're going Condi Ellie, are we? All right.
And the reason why they're rabid is because they were 60 silver each.
budget Condi Ellie, guys.
I'm telling you, this is the cheapest Guild Wars 2 build you could ever make.
Okay, all right.
And when I say cheapest, I don't mean like.
Oh, what, dude? What are we doing?
Okay, because what I did my last build was the NG build, right?
This is amazing. This is actually amazing. This is Boots' bad builds. I like this a lot.
Okay, so when I made my NG build, I made it because it was like something really interesting, and I wanted to make it the full boon duration build with the flamethrower. It was really fun.
And crazy expensive.
But yeah, it took first of all like 3 weeks to farm for the freaking what's it called, the runes, and then it had like full berserker gear on top of that, so that's all expensive.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the video comes out, everybody likes it, but you know, it's a little inaccessible for some people.
Yeah, plus there's that crippling anxiety and depression you have over spending all that time and money on
Oh no, I never had that.
A build that was okay, all right.
But
a build that was ultimately destined for the dumpster.
No, I still use it. Come on, man. Come on. I use it all the time.
I actually saw in Legendary Division somebody using an engineer with a flamethrower the other day.
Probably
I will be honest.
Probably my build.
Are you telling me that Rabid is the cheapest gear set in the game?
Rabid light armor is the cheapest.
Light
on the whole, no, it's not. I did a mix of gear to keep it cheap.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Really, is this the idea? Just cheap.
Exactly.
This is amazing. It can't be a Tempest build then, because that takes effort to get.
Hey, buddy, just listen. No. I've been limiting it to the equipment you get, because the Tempest, although it is, yeah, you do have to like gain some levels or whatever, masteries or whatever you have to do to get Tempest. Just experience, really. That doesn't cost money.
Okay, all right. So it's monetarily cheap.
Exactly. Okay, so
talk me through each bit. I wanna hear here.
okay, so at the time of purchase, these were literally the cheapest things I get. I think the market has changed a little bit. Like some of the gear has gone up slightly, but you could easily replace that with something else. I'll tell you in a second, but it'll probably go back down anyway. So the feet, legs, and chest are rabid. They were like 60 silver each.
Okay. Stat spread of rabid for the kind people?
The stat spread of rabid is precision, toughness, and main condition damage.
Okay.
And then I have for the face, the shoulders, and the arms, I have apothecaries, but that...
Why are you describing it like that? Face, shoulders, and arms, and feet?
Yeah. What? That's what the body parts they cover.
All right, okay. It's just not the standard, I'd call it head armor, my head slot.
Oh, whatever.
All right, go on.
Well, I guess I call it face because the one I chose is just like a face mask. It's a little covering of her face. It's not actually a helmet.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So apothecaries. Apothecaries was around 60 when I bought it. I think it's gone up to a gold, but you could still put a buy order for it about 60.
Okay.
And if you want to, you could replace that with rabid because that rabid is still that low.
Right.
Then my weapons are, exotic weapons are kind of expensive no matter what you do, right?
I didn't know that, actually. I had no idea. I would have assumed that it'd be something cheaper.
Warhorns,
but I guess
warhorns are pretty cheap because not that many people make the legendary warhorn, so nobody's putting those into the forge.
Okay.
Daggers, though, people do like to make that legendary dagger. So all daggers are somewhat expensive. So the one you could get a rabid one for about 3 gold, and that's about as low as you could go. And I got
that's actually a lot more expensive than I thought.
Yeah, I know. And then the rabid reclaim warhorn I got for like a gold or something like that, gold 50. The cheapest trinket, the cheapest ascended whatever accessories that I could find when I was looking were settlers' keepsakes.
Settlers' keepsakes.
Exactly, settlers' keepsakes. Now I gotta tell you, sometimes I splurged a little bit and went for the second cheapest thing because it fit the build a little bit better.
That's exactly what I was gonna ask.
Yeah. Sometimes you go for the second cheapest thing just because you kind of have to.
All right.
Yeah.
So you are trying to make a real build.
You are trying to make a real build here. It's not just complete ass.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we'll find everyone that it is.
and then for the back piece, I used a recruit. You could get a back piece, a rare back piece, really easily from the the HOT storyline. I have 8 of them, and I just used the recruit back piece and turned it into some rabid stuff.
Nice. And
put an exquisite passion flower into it.
All right.
And then for the rings and the amulet, those I actually went ascended because all exotic rings and amulets are very expensive. The cheapest thing you could do...
Really?
Yeah, all of them are really expensive. It's really weird. And the cheapest thing you could do is use your laurels, which cost nothing, and buy ascended trinkets. Ascended rings and amulets.
You could still do that in World vs. World for the discounted
Exactly,
versions, right?
exactly. So in World vs. World, you could buy this thing for only 20 laurels, the cheapest possible, and the rings for 25 each.
All right.
And I used, I think this is apothecary as well. Yeah. This is apothecary stuff. Only because I had them lying around in my bank. So.
Wow.
So it was free for me. But,
okay.
But you could buy, if you want, you could get rabid instead. But I like the healing power on these guys.
All right.
And the other thing is, so the reason why I didn't go ascended accessories is because you, no matter what, have to spend gold on those things.
Yeah, because they're tied to the vendors with the gold price as well.
The runes I picked are, I think, 1 silver 80 each.
What is this? This is amazing. Okay, wait, 1 silver 80. Can I have a look, right?
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to go upgrade component. We're going to go rune, armor runes. This is what you will have found boots did, guys. Then we're going to go to the filter, and we're going to go exotic only, and 80 to 80. Oh, wait, no. That bit we don't want. All right, okay. So, and then we're going to filter by price. So the cheapest runes, wow, crate runes are the cheapest runes. I have made a grand total of like 2 or 3 investments my entire time playing Guild Wars 2. One of them was on crate runes, which is now the cheapest rune of them all.
Oh yeah, crate runes are cheaper. They weren't cheaper when I bought them, but I went for the second cheapest.
Undead runes.
And runes of the undead. Crate runes are actually pretty good for this as well, but no, runes of the undead are the way to go. Because with all of your rabid gear and all of your apothecary's gear, you have a lot of toughness.
Oh, and you're doing it for the conversion. 7% of toughness is converted to condition damage.
That's right. That is right. So with this build, you have with your food as well. If you want to eat food, you'll have around 1,900 and something condition damage.
That's quite high.
That is quite high. That's very high. Anyway, so there you go. That's a big condition damage boost. And then for
there you go. That's the end of the build.
and then for your sigils, you have 2 choices. You can either go for the really cheap version, which was like 4 silver each, which is a sigil of smoldering and a sigil of agony, which are 20% bleed duration and 20% burn duration, which when you think about it is like a really good idea, because you know how Signet of Malice is really good, right? It's 10% overall condition duration.
Right.
And those are like 9 gold each, right?
Right.
And don't you think that people would want to use 2 Signet of Malices if they could?
Wow, I see where you're going here.
Which is 20% overall condition duration. But when you're an elementalist, the only 2 conditions you're really doing are bleeding and burning. So by using a Signet of Agony and a Signet of Smoldering, you're essentially doing 2 Signet of Malices, a savings of over 18 gold.
Everything about this is disgusting, but I like the logic. I like it.
And if you really want to splurge, though, if you really want to splurge to make this build really work, you could, instead of a Signet of Agony, you could buy a Sigil of Agony, you could buy a Sigil of Blood, which I did, 50% chance on critical steal health, and that's 20 silver. So yeah, that's really splurging. But so what do you do when you have, from your equipment, like, I don't know, 700 and something healing power, 2,400 toughness, and a ridiculous amount of armor, a little bit of vitality, not so bad, and 30% crit chance. And...
All right, I can guess at least one thing you're gonna do.
Okay.
Because I know the way you make these builds.
Okay.
I know that you value the synergy over what's actually practically useful.
Okay.
All right. So I can almost guarantee, I'd stake money on this, that you've gone Earth and you've taken the trait that converts your toughness into more quantity damage.
That is right, I did do that. So go
yeah.
Earth. And I got Strength of Stone, gain condition damage based on your toughness. That's an extra 10%, so you're getting 17% of your toughness being converted into condition damage.
Okay, alright.
Pretty good.
The synergy, guys.
Mm-hmm. And then, what else are you gonna... Where are you? I just left you completely.
What? I'm still here. I'm in the same place. I'm on the trading post. I'm looking for sigils and stuff.
I know,
right,
I just left. I don't know.
Just wandered off, guys. I've been abandoned.
Okay, so let's continue on the Earth.
Whoa, Boots, there's another player. Look,
Where?
He's on that bridge. He's leaving.
Oh my god.
A rare sight in World versus World. Hold on, where's the wizard? He's gone. I think he's waypointed. That's it.
It was beautiful.
We lost him. That was like seeing a deer in the woods.
Yeah. We startled him off.
He's gone. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, so then my minor is Elemental Shielding. Gain protection when applying an aura to yourself or an ally.
I do like that trait a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But why didn't you go with bleeds lasting longer, Boots?
Because who cares?
But the synergy!
No. This is even better synergy.
Okay, all right.
There is synergy in both categories. This one is even better, though.
All right, okay.
And then finally, Diamond Skinned I went with.
All right, yeah. How does Diamond Skin feel since the change? I haven't played with it since it got altered.
Diamond Skin is worse than it used to be, but it's not terrible. 75% is a better threshold, so you're at it more often, especially if you're running... well, I mean, it's probably better if you have a high health build for that, because there's a lot less health that you have to lose. But with a low health build where you have a lot of healing on it, it's pretty good too.
Spike yourself back over the threshold. And
pretty easily. But yeah, 1 second. I mean, the main problem with it is that, like, what I discovered while running this build even though I held up really well and killed quite a few people and probably killed... I had quite a few, actually, 2-on-1s that I won.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But the problem is, if you run against a good necromancer...
Right.
A good necromancer who also runs Condi transfers, you are screwed. You have no way of winning.
Alright, yeah. I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, because the necro has a bunch of different conditions they'll put on you, and it'll overwhelm the one condition off per second.
Alright.
Alright, so that's Earth. Then next we are going a Tempest.
Okay, oh, wait, what about our other core spec?
Okay, fine. You want me to go core spec first?
Yeah. What's the other one?
All right. For now, okay. There's actually 2 versions of this build. This is the cheapest one that I could tell you about.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I like it.
Okay. This is the cheap version, which is fire spec.
Oh god.
Yeah. And with fire, you get burning precision.
Power overwhelming.
Burning precision. No. Burning precision, which gives more burning on a crit and increases the burning duration by 20%. Very strong. Then you get power overwhelming.
What? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
And you get a fire shield sunspot when you flip to burning.
Can I ask? Hold on. I know we covered it. Did you say what weapons are you running?
I am running dagger warhorn.
Dagger. Okay.
Yeah. So don't worry. I did not go scepter dagger again like I always do.
And then just get the fire autos spamming them out forever. Yeah.
Exactly. No, I've actually done some work on this. I've actually tried out what works well.
Okay.
So power overwhelming, an extra 10% of your power damage, whatever power stat gets converted to condition damage, which in this case is around 120 condition damage extra. And then finally, I have blinding ashes, blind foes that you burn, because you're burning a lot of people. Might as well blind them.
Because of the synergy.
Because of the synergy. And then finally, Tempest line.
Tempest. Yep.
Tempest. So the first one you're going to take is Unstable Conduit. Overloading an attunement grants an aura based on the element you're attuned to.
Alright. Standard.
Auras. And then Invigorating Torrents, because it's pretty good. Auras you apply grant vigor and regeneration. So that'll give you a pretty stable amount of regeneration, keeping you topped up for your diamond skin.
Don't say that. That's not true.
Well, it'll help.
It's good for the vigor.
It'll
if you're
help.
if you justify that through the vigor.
It's also good for the vigor, but it'll help. Right. Very important for this build is Hardy Conduit, the third minor.
Okay.
Gain protection while overloading attunement, and protection's effectiveness is increased. So instead of 33% less incoming damage, it's 40% less incoming damage.
Yep.
So that makes the elemental shielding from Earth make a little more sense, right?
Yeah. I love that synergy as well. Yeah.
Exactly. And then finally, Elemental Bastion. So you heal every time you give yourself an aura, and on top of that, you get an aura when you hit 75% frost aura.
Okay.
And yeah, so that gives you, I think on this build, it's about 1,200 healing every time you cast an aura on yourself.
Do you know what's nice about that, by the way?
What?
Just the specific combo of Tempest and Earth right now. If someone strikes you below the diamond skin threshold, it's at that exact threshold that you apply a frost aura plus enhanced protection to yourself and heal yourself to push yourself safely back above it.
And the frost aura is another 10% less damage.
Yeah. So it says 50% reduced damage the second they break that threshold, giving you time to push back higher.
And it also pushes you back higher because it heals you.
Yeah, but by such a minor amount. It's
yeah, but still.
I mean, you do have a little bit of apothecaries. Ooh, let's not forget.
All
right.
So no, it's good. It's actually quite good.
Utilities?
Utilities, I got, well, for my heal skill, I got Signet Restoration. It gives you 276 health every time you cast a spell.
I like it with a dagger, to be honest. I've always enjoyed that one with dagger.
Exactly. It's good with a dagger, and it pushes you above, like, it continuously pushes you above the 75% threshold, keeping you topped off so you never fall below it, hopefully. And then we've got, I'm using Cleansing Fire for some condition cleanse on top of the, just in case you do pop below.
Last minute, yeah.
Exactly. So cures 3 conditions on you and burns foes. That's the most important part. It actually does 6,000 damage from burning foes.
Yeah, it's good duration.
Exactly. And I also have Feel the Burn.
Okay, more burning.
More
Another
burning
aura.
and an aura, and it's on a 20-second cooldown. And just like Cleansing Fire, it is instacast. So while you're overloading an attunement, you could cast these two things.
Mm-hmm.
And then right now I'm running Flash Freeze, but I have been running Signet of Fire for the amount of damage that it does.
The active, yeah.
Yeah, the active is quite strong. I mean, it 2 stacks of burning for 14 seconds. When you have your food on you, is around 14,000 damage.
Yeah, it's a juicy number of that. Yeah.
On a 20-second cooldown, which is pretty great.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. And then finally, my elite, I have Rebound.
Okay.
Yeah, for
Just
more
a bit of support
auras.
for people and a bit of help for you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So there you go. That is the build, and that is the cheapest version of the build you could do. And
all right, what?
It's actually even though the other version I'm going to tell you about pretty soon, even though the other version is less cheap, this one is more fun to use.
Okay, so what's going on with the two versions? Can I critique the hell out of this one first, or
all right,
go
for it. Go for it.
Okay, all right. Well, I like the idea. Well, first of all, utilities we talked about last of all. Did you ever consider FGS?
I have not ever.
No,
I did. It has like a nice little fire spike on number 2.
Yeah, it's not so much that though.
And you got some mobility, and it also gives you condition damage.
Yes. All right. And as a Tempest, and with 2 instacast skills on your utilities, you can quite comfortably fire overload, pop your other abilities, all while holding the sword and buff the damage up. Not even so much about the skill 2, which people are easily going to cut out of. I wanted to ask you, where's this for? Where are we? Where's the cheap Ellie for? Is this for World vs. World, Roman?
Well, yeah, I've been using it in World vs. World, Roman. It's quite good. It's actually very strong also in just general PvE. Like, it does quite a lot of damage, actually.
Okay. All right.
And general PvE is good. You can use it really in any case. And also, I have a variant of it in PvP, which I'll put down in the comment section, a little, whatever it's called, a link. And that's been working pretty well too, actually. It's definitely not meta elementalist because it's condition damage.
Meta elementalist.
Metelemental, yeah. But it works. It actually works.
Okay. I think that you could do a lot of work on your traits as well. All right, even if the utilities are a little bit questionable. For example, the Signet of Fire. To be honest, like I really like Glyph of Elemental Power on a build like this.
Oh, bad guy coming. Oh no, those are just Harpy Warriors. Okay, go ahead.
I like Glyph of Elemental Power on a build like this because you can pop it in fire and just have 2 stacks of burn just constantly rolling out on people.
Yeah, that's good.
Are you at fire duration cap?
I am not at fire duration cap, no.
Okay, how close are you?
With the food...
With the cake, it would be... Koi cake or whatever, it would be 20% on top.
It would be 60.
You'd be at 60%. Okay, all right, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, I quite like the Glyph of Elemental Power. There's also like, where's the quality of life?
What do you mean?
You got Cleansing Flame, but where's I don't know. It just feels horrible.
You got. What do you mean quality of life? You have diamond.
Also,
skin.
Feel the Burn really isn't that good for applying burns at all.
No, but it is another aura, and it is activatable.
Yeah, but
it's a fire shield, so it does apply burns quite nicely when people are attacking you, and people do attack you, and you can survive their hits because you're super tanky.
I don't deny it has some merit to it. I just think other things have much more. I think you're going to win a lot more fights, survive, peel away from a lot more fights, be much more tactical with stuff like Mist Form or Lightning Flash than you ever are.
Such a low cooldown.
It's even with a low cooldown. Even with... Okay, and then so that kind of... Well, it doesn't really segue me because it doesn't have the tooltip on it anymore. But for Tempest, you've gone with Vigor and Regen. There is a lot of merit to both of the other traits in that slot.
The shout's pretty good, yeah, you're right.
Because against power people, the shouts are... if you are solo roaming in World vs. World, this is a point I'm going to make again in a second.
Okay.
Tempestuous area, even with all your auras as well, giving yourself that extra might, the might will buff the condi damage as well, and having a lot of might generation for yourself is one of the best, easiest ways you can push out...
You're right. You're right.
A lot more damage. And the weakness really helps your sustain far more than a bit of regen does, for example.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So actually, you're right. This Invigorating Torrents is more of a carryover of the other build than it is what I should be using for this one.
All right. And then even then as well, Harmonious Conduit, I'm not looking so much at the 10% damage, but I am looking at the stability, which will enable you to get way more overloads off than you otherwise are likely to be honest with you, especially if you're putting a lot of weight on the auras because of your selection in the first slot. So I don't know. I think they're not. It's not a no-brainer in that slot.
Yeah, you're right.
To me,
you're right, for sure.
To me, and if you choose to swap away from the vigor, you can always pick it up again by getting rid of the aura in the first slot, and instead going latent stamina. And you get your regeneration, you get your vigor, and you just get flat endurance regeneration when you swap into it from there.
Yeah.
All right, and then the other line as well that I think there's a lot more discussion to be had is fire. I think you're making bad choices in fire. Power overwhelming, please. You do
120
not need it.
condition damage,
120, my foot.
Yo, that's 120.
Oh, I thought you were trying to say YOLO there.
No.
So what? So what? 120. All right, this is one of the worst traits Arenanet has, choices Arenanet has ever done. You could easily pick that back up just with your fire auras granting you might instead, especially if you decided to use Feel the Burn.
Fair enough. Okay, one with fire it is.
But, no, I'm not even suggesting one with fire. Just in terms of a straight damage, right? You're going to push out a lot more damage, a lot more burns, and get a lot more use out of fire attunement by reducing the cooldown of all those skills by 33%. And you get flat damage on top of it, and you get the quality of life associated with, say, the evade frame on your Dagger 3.
I suppose so.
And so much of your damage is going to be coming from that Warhorn 5, your might that you can use using Heatsink. There is no reason to ever take Power Overwhelming. Even if that was a 20% conversion modifier, you're probably still better off, especially in a build like this, taking Pyromancer.
You might be right. You might be right. And I think...
You don't even have much power in your gear.
I think this is a great transition time for the second version of this build, because the fire trait line gets removed completely.
Okay, all right, fine. Because I was gonna rant about the Grandmaster too, but let's do it. Let's see the alternate. Let's go.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna have to completely change my equipment.
Really? Wait,
no. Just the armor.
Okay, all right. I'm excited though.
Because of the rune set. Because of the rune set.
I cannot wait once again to see the footage of this thing in action.
This one is okay. So you know how
How much did the old one cost? How much did the old build cost? People hopefully have been seeing you wrecking face in World vs. World and stuff. How much did it cost you to get that?
The old build cost me, in its entirety, 9 gold to make.
9 gold, guys, and you can do all these wonderful things you've been watching.
For 9 gold.
Yeah, okay,
the low cost of 9 gold.
We should get into selling stuff together, bro.
Sorry?
We should get into selling stuff together.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Go door to door.
Yeah. Guild Wars 2, it's only $50 now with HOT. Click the link down below if you want to okay. Okay, right. So this armor is different only because I actually bought it a little bit later because I was doing I came up with the build a little bit later than the other one, and so it meant that the apothecary gear was more expensive, so I replaced it with settler's gear, which was inexpensive.
Okay.
And it's basically the same thing as apothecary gear, but instead of healing power being the main stat, toughness is the main stat.
Okay.
All right, and the big difference, though, is the runes. And the runes are Superior Rune of Radiance.
Radiance.
Yeah.
Radiance. I like Radiance. I actually run Radiance as much as I possibly can.
I know, it's pretty nice, eh?
Yeah, I like Radiance runes.
Yeah, and so you've got...
This is like a totally different build you're about to go into.
This is pretty different. This is...
Why are we doing it in the same video?
Because it's important. It's basically the same thing. It's still ridiculously cheap, only because it's Superior Runes of Radiance, those are approximately an extra 5 gold, all said. An extra 6 gold, I think all said. So instead of 9 gold, this build is going to cost 15 gold. So I don't know. Bring out your pocketbooks, people.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, if this was launched, that would be quite the tall order.
I know. But then again, at launch, this would be like 2 silver to make. Okay, so Superior Rune of Radiance gives you a little bit of vitality. Very good for, an elementalist with such low vitality. And when you receive an aura, you gain 5 seconds of swiftness. That's good. You'll always be kept topped off with swiftness with this aura build. When you use a heal skill, gain 4 seconds of light aura, which grants you retaliation, I think, and also gives vulnerability to the people.
Yep, you're exactly right. Yeah.
And duration of auras you apply are increased by 33%, which is really nice. It's an extra second, approximately a second and a bit. And so the reason why I switched to Radiance for this build is because it gives me an option to not use Signet of Restoration anymore. So instead of Signet of Restoration, I'll get to that in a second, actually. Okay, so Superior Runes of Radiance. What do you do with this? Instead of fire, you're going to go water.
Okay.
Okay? And instead of Diamond Skin, you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go Stone Heart.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
you cannot be critically hit while on Earth.
So instead of this cheap build, since you lose a little bit of this cheapness to the build, you have to go cheap in another way. You have to become a camper.
Okay, what? All right.
So you are going to be camping stone. You're going to be camping earth. Magic.
Well, we're just going to get rid of 15 of our skills. We're just going to say
You're just
goodbye
going to complete, like, you know how elementalists are, like, super full up on skills, and the whole point of being an elementalist is to, like, just use all your stuff, roll your face over the keyboard.
Yeah, face roll. Yeah. That's why I play it.
Instead, you're just going to be in earth, use 5 skills, and nothing more.
Dude, what? Hold on. Are we going to Scepter now, then?
You might be going to Scepter, yeah.
Go back to Scepter, everyone.
No, but you have a choice, though. You have a choice. So Scepter is better damage-wise a little bit, but Earth, you still get a tiny bit more utility with that Immobilize, with Magnetic Grasp.
Okay.
With Dagger. Okay,
close.
But you do, instead of going Strength of Stone, even though it pains me to do this, you're gonna have to go Geomancer's Training instead.
Thank God.
Now, because of you have to reduce the recharge of your Earth skills.
I was very close to pointing this out before as well. I wanted to,
you got.
Because I love the Warhorn 4. I think it's amazing, and dropping the cooldown on it is my favorite thing in the world.
Exactly. The Warhorn 4 is a lot of damage. So 20-second cooldown on a 2-second bleed that pumps out every 2 seconds.
What? That's not what are you talking about?
Warhorn 5. Oh, sorry, I'm talking about Warhorn 5. Sorry. Warhorn 4 is also very good. I mean, Magnetic 4, well, it's amazing, you know? It's amazing.
It's easy to move out of the Dust Storm, though, and that's where your dagger's quite nice as well, I guess.
Exactly. Okay, so Geomancer's Training, and you keep Elemental Shielding. And you're also going to keep all the same traits in Tempest. But this is where Invigorating Torrents is going to shine a little bit more. And I'll tell you why. Because in Water Magic, you're going to go Cleansing Water. Because to make up for your loss of condition removal from Diamond Skin, you're going to make up for it with Cleansing Water in water. And so you go Cleansing Water. Remove a condition when granting regeneration to yourself and an ally. There's no internal cooldown. Every time you give yourself an aura, you grant yourself regeneration. So that works pretty well. And then on top of that, you're gonna go Soothing Disruption, which every time you use a cantrip, you give yourself regeneration, which means another condition removed.
Okay, from Cleansing Fire.
Yeah, and then finally, you're going to go Stop, Drop, and Roll just to round out that condition removal a little bit more. You really have to pump up your condition removal because Diamond Skin's not there anymore. And Stop, Drop, and Roll removes Burning and Chilled whenever you dodge roll, which you're going to have a lot of vigor, so that's going to work.
Okay, that's kind of crazy, actually. I've never really ever considered Stop, Drop, and Roll.
Yeah, it's in this case, it is better than Soothing Ice, even though Soothing Ice is so alluring. Because it says Soothing Ice is gain regeneration, which would remove a condition, and Frost Aura, which would remove a condition and give you extra boons whenever you're critically hit. But since you're camping Earth, you will never be critically hit, so it's completely useless to you.
But, okay.
It's completely useless.
This is crazy.
To you.
Do you have actual footage of you killing people permanently in Earth?
I have actual footage of me killing people.
This is outrageous. Really?
Yes, really.
It's not fake.
It's not fake. It's honest to God. Straight up footage.
This is insane. Okay.
Okay.
I have no faith in anything you're saying. I just want to be entirely
You're gonna have to see the footage. You're gonna have to see the footage.
Yeah, I will see the footage.
So, but like, you got everything you need here in Earth. You got your bleeds. You got your magnetic aura. You got a ton of protection and toughness. So you're taking like literally no damage. All power builds against you will not kill you because it's impossible to kill you as a power build. It is literally impossible to get killed if somebody's on a power build. I have had thieves. You know how thieves go around auto-attacking for like 2,000 damage ridiculously quickly?
I've ran like as hard a tank as I can on a full Nomads area. It gets ludicrous.
Yeah, and it works. They cannot kill you because you keep on healing through. They can't crit you, and you would be surprised how many builds rely on critical hits to do a lot of the things they want to do.
Yeah. Both on Condi and Power.
Exactly. So So that's what's happening. So you will not die. It will take a little while for you to kill things, but you will kill things eventually.
No, like they could just run away. Wait, have you changed your utilities in any other place than just your heal? All right, explain why you're saying no signet here, because signet seems to make sense.
Yeah, so it's the signet of fire. Yeah, it works. It works. You do signet here.
No. Heal skill. You were saying you were moving away from the signet of restoration.
Right, because since you don't have to get topped up anymore for the diamond skin, you could let yourself drop a little bit more these times.
Okay.
Instead, you don't need to continuously top yourself. So instead, you're going to be going Glyph of Elemental Harmony, because when you're in Earth, this Glyph of Elemental Harmony helps you out with protection every single time. And that is super strong.
You don't value the far lower cooldown, far higher heal ether renewal?
It's also very good, yeah, and especially with
the traits.
It's an extra boon removal. I mean, condition removal.
It's crazy condi removal. It's like 8 condis plus the regen for a 9th.
Yeah.
Plus the aura for a 10th, plus another bit of regen from that aura. Would be 11 condis.
I would say it is worth it to use either one.
Okay.
yeah. So if you see that you might be dying to condis for some reason, because that is the only way you could die. If you're dying to condis, yeah, go ether renewal.
Well, when does the aura proc with ether renewal? On the first tick of heal, or when it finishes channeling? Because then getting interrupted on the ether renewal would be the first tick.
First tick.
All right, that's not bad then.
Yeah. There you go. And yeah, so actually the utilities are pretty much the same. That's where you get your damage, really, from the fire that you put on with your cleansing fire and your signet of fire. And if you want to, you can replace signet of fire with another aura just for more healing and boon and condition removal. But yeah, you got.
This is hilarious. I cannot wait to see you killing people.
And rebound stays the same as well. And there you go. That's it.
What's so fascinating about this is you have built a build that camps Earth and doesn't even try and get around the fact that it's doing that by using like conjure weapons.
No.
You know, you've taken no opportunity.
No opportunity.
You know, I wouldn't have been surprised to hear you were like, oh yeah, I'll put on an Earth shield. It's even tankier. You know, it increases condi damage. No.
Damn it. You really want a flame axe? Fine, I'll put on a freaking flame axe.
No. Well, I was saying Earth shield there. It's got a gap close. It's got some days. Mitigate more damage. No. The Earth shield doesn't even give condi damage. I'm wrong.
Oh, it does on Earth. No, the Earth shield doesn't, but the flame leap.
The flame axe does, yeah. And look, you get auras on this as well, you know, right? Because you got the 5 and then the 5, the 4 and then the 5.
There you go. There you go.
And some blasts and some might. This is unbelievable. Well, I mean, are you expecting me to critique this?
I don't think you can. I think it's like pretty straightforward, the best build perfect, anybody could possibly make. Well,
my only critique, Boots, for this would be use the other attunements. That would probably be my main bit of advice for the build. But yeah, so there you go.
All right, thanks everybody for watching. That was Boots Bad Builds.
The greatest one ever.
The greatest one ever. You're gonna see the footage. It's gonna be.
I'm gonna be blown away.
Blown away. I did not use. You know what? Flame axe would probably be a smart move for this build. Actually.
I don't know. As much as I want flame axe to be good, I've always hated every time I've tried to put on a build for one reason or another.
Well, obviously you haven't tried this one.
It expires too quickly. It's just.
Yeah, it does expire quickly.
One day Arenanet will properly look at the conjure weapons.
Yeah, and maybe instead of rebound, you could do conjure fire greatsword, I guess.
Maybe.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
I would use FGS. For Wovus as well, for the mobility and stuff? Yeah. Unquestionable.
Okay, there we go. All right, we just made the build infinitely better.
Oh, is this in the video, is it? All right.
I don't know. Yeah. Sure it is. Who cares, really? Wow. Thanks, everybody, for watching Boots Bad Builds. This has been the cheapest build.
The Great Ellie Showcase.
The cheapest build in Guild Wars 2, and then a cheap camping build afterwards.
This is good. You're going to get all the new free-to-play players checking out the Ellie-ness.
Yeah, a big title saying cheapest build in Guild Wars 2 or something, and then... Yeah, I'll get 4,000 views. Wait, that's what I usually get. I'll get 1 billion views.
1 billion.
Bye, everybody.